Hey everyone, Dr. Alan Rudolph here with a health and wellness update for you. First off, I'd like to thank everyone that has made it over to the new clinic where I am now working at over in Mandan. Once again, it's located at 2008 Twin Cities Drive over here in Mandan. If you know where the old Bonanza used to be or where Culver's is, we're right across the highway from there. Transition's been good. I've been here a month now. They're still keeping me around. Nobody's wanting to kick me out, or at least they haven't said that so far. So, like I said, things are going fairly well. With that out of the way, what I'd like to talk about today is learning disorders, learning issues with children, and neurofeedback. This is a great time of the year now that it's summertime for any kids, any children, anyone that you know that has had any trouble in the last year with reading or with any issues with learning in school. It's a perfect time to do QEEG evaluations, checking to see what's going on with the kids' brains, and doing neurofeedback over summer to correct that. It's like too many kids in today's society, the idea or the trouble is they have come to the conclusion that the child's issue with their brain is a chemical issue, and in regards to chemicals, they try to then fix the issue with more chemicals, aka the medications. However, we know that long term these medications have no real health benefits for the individuals. They potentially end up becoming addicted to the medications because most of the medications are forms of methamphetamine, which is basically speed that you're giving these individuals that then turns into potentially some entryway drug later on in life. And the bottom line to this is majority of these kids, these individuals do not need medication. What they need is to have the electrical system of their brain evaluated. Now, the electrical system is what's controlling how all of the information is processed. If this electrical system is out of balance, we can measure that by looking at brainwave patterns, because the brainwave patterns are the output of the electrical system, and we can see how well these certain areas are being able to work, use, and process information. If we see the areas that are responsible for processing information are electrically imbalanced, their brainwave patterns are showing a dysregulatory pattern, we can essentially retrain that part of the brain to overcome those dysregulatory patterns and to be able to process the information, and the child can go from a low reading score or being challenged in school to rising to being one of the better students in school. And what's the best part about this is non-invasive. There's no needles, no drugs, we're using the brain's own ability to teach and to learn how to do things. It's just that your brain doesn't have a very good way to self-assess how well of a job it's doing. And its basic programming is as long as you're surviving, it's happy. Survivability is its utmost priority. So if a bear is chasing you, you're not necessarily so concerned about reading, writing, and arithmetic. Right? You're more concerned about taking care of the threat. And if there are brain imbalances, if there are threats, there are things within the brain that are out of balance, the brain tends to push towards that fight or flight tendency versus the resting, repairing, and being able to process information to log it into long-term memory and be able to recall it when needed. So as an example, I just want to read a testimonial from one of my patients and what had happened with their daughter after they had done a neurofeedback. So my daughter really struggled with reading while she was in first grade. She was way below the average first grader. The first grade teacher, the principal of the school, and her Title I teacher thought it was a good idea if I held her back and made her attend summer school to help her catch up to her class. That's when I decided I wanted to have her try BrainCore with Dr. Alan Rudolph. She did the recommended treatments during the summer instead of summer school. She is now in second grade, and I attended her first parent-teachers conference in November. Her reading level has skyrocketed. She is now above the average second grade reading level and one of the top readers in her class. And in order to achieve that, we evaluated her brainwave patterns, looked at what was going on with her brain, did neurofeedback in order to reteach the brain how to process the information properly, and boom, the function is there. It just needs help to get reorganized if something happens. And we don't know what necessarily happens as kids. I mean, how many times do you know a child from age 2 to 5 has slipped and fallen, or hit their head or whatever. The timing of it can be anything. Being exposed to certain chemicals, whatever the case is, something traumatized or most likely hurt the brain, and is when it was trying to reorganize, or to initially organize those pathways that help with reading, writing, arithmetic, with learning. We can reestablish those pathways, but it's knowing which ones they are. That's why we do what's called a QEEG scan. Basically, it's putting a cap on somebody's head to read their brainwave patterns to see where the issues are. Once again, it's not invasive. We're not pushing anything into their brain. We're just reading what the brain is doing already on its own. We're just checking to see where the imbalances are at. Once we find those imbalances, then we can retrain those things. And this is the perfect time to do that, because these kids are out of school, right? They have potentially more availability to be able to come in and do the trainings. But however, parents, if you're like, oh, we're on the road all the time, and we got baseball, we got volleyball, we got all these vacations we got planned, guess what? I have a mobile unit. Actually, I have 3 mobile units that I can send out with people, where you can take them home and you can do the exercises at home when the time is available. And a lot of times people can actually train faster because the accessibility is easier, because you already have it at home. So once again, please, if you or anyone you know, or any teachers, or Title I teachers or special ed teachers that tell them about this. Let them know. Come contact me. You can contact me. The best way to get a hold of me is my email, and my email is dr.allen, ALLEN, Rudolph, RUDOLPH @gmail.com. You can also go to my Facebook page. That's Dynamic Health 01. That's my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is Dynamic Health 01. My Facebook page is Dynamic Health. Sign up, add on these videos we posted there. Send your friends, send your relatives, send whoever you need to get this information, so you can help these kids. They don't have to struggle in school. They just have to have their brains working properly so that they can learn like they're meant to learn. Well, once again, I want to say thanks again for those people that are able to find me at the new location. Glad to have you. Always glad to have you come in and allow me to help you reach a better potential of your health. Other than that, hope you have a great day. Enjoy your summer, and we'll look forward to the next health and wellness update.